How's it going, dudes and dudettes? My name is Foxsoul. Welcome back to another video here on Lords of the Fallen. Now, unlike before, we're not doing no cheese or anything. We're doing actually a conversational piece, if you would, about comparing comparing Lords of the Fallen to that of Elden Ring. And the reason why I'm going to bring this up is because I've seen some postings, I've read some Reddits, some tweets on Twitter, or now X, whatever you want to call it. And there's some people out there who's like, this game sucks because they're comparing it to Elden Ring. Like, oh, Elden Ring did this better, Elden Ring did that better. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest, like Elden Ring, don't get me wrong, beautiful game, great game, had tons of fun with it. Can't wait for the DLC, really can't. But a lot of people, I think, are actually comparing this game to Elden Ring, which is an unfair comparison. It's like comparing apples with oranges in a sense. It's like, it's very unfair in my personal opinion. Let's get this guy out the way real quick. That way we can kill. And the reason why I say that is because this game is not Elden Ring. If anything, I think a fair comparison for this game, for anyone, if you want to compare this to a Soul series game, you need to compare this to the original Dark Souls series, in my personal preference, in my personal opinion, actually. And the reason why I say that is because I played Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 when they first came out. Well, not when they first came out, because it was a couple of years until I actually played Dark Souls, and it was a roommate of mine that actually got me to play that game, did it on a live stream, and ever since then, I was hooked to the series. Dark Souls 2, didn't quite care for it as much as Dark Souls 1. When Dark Souls 3 came out, that was my favorite game, and I'm gonna be honest, comparing this to any game, I would compare this to Dark Souls 3. Like, I honestly feel that this is a Dark Souls sequel. It feels like Dark Souls, it plays a little like Dark Souls, and overall, I mean, it's just, you try to compare this game, when you try to compare this game with Elden Ring. Elden Ring is a polished game. It is a AAA title. It is a great game. Elden Ring has a lot about it that makes it just amazing for itself. And we're here, and I'm hearing, you know, people like, oh, well, this is not as good as Elden Ring. Well, no, it's not. They're comparing like mechanics of this game versus, you know, Elden Ring, like, oh, it's not as polished in this regard. The combat, you know, it's buggy and such. Bro, I could be 100% honest with you. If you compare this to the gameplay of this to that of Elden Ring, yeah, this game has its flaw. You compare this though to Dark Souls 1, 2, or 3. I think you have to legitimately ask yourself just how much you could actually see that you can see Dark Souls in this game, because Dark Souls was not a polished game. It was polished, but it wasn't superbly polished like that of Elden Ring. I don't know. I just really wanted to actually have a conversation about this, because the more I think about it, it kind of is annoying. Like, a lot of people, the way I compare this, and I discussed this with some people so far, is that it's like with me with Guilty Gear Strive or Guilty Gear XR series. A lot of people, their first Souls game, I'm going to be completely honest with you, was most likely Elden Ring. So you're really coming into an opinion of, okay, you've played Elden Ring. You're coming into this high level game, a very polished game that, you know, the developers really put time and effort into it. because they've taken what they have worked on from Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Sekiro, put that together and created what we have now. This is a game that's from a different developer that isn't trying to copy, in my personal opinion, that of the formula of Elden Ring. They're copying the format of Dark Souls. Dark Souls was a really buggy sometimes game that, you know, you could do a lot of things. And I think that's the reason why me and my roommate, my old roommate, I have so much fun with this game. It's the fact that this reminds us a lot of the Dark Souls series. Like, yeah, we get frustrated with some things that happens. Don't get me wrong. So things break here and there and we get a little upset, but overall that is kind of also where the charm comes in. Believe it or not. The charm of, you know, breaking a game to see what you can do. Okay, can I jump this ledge? How can I get over there without actually, you know, doing the legit thing? I don't know. We also got to remember that when it comes down to that of Dark Souls, of the Dark Souls series, you know, it took a lot of inspiration from Berserk. Don't get me wrong, Elden Ring did have a lot of, you know, key Easter eggs or key references to Berserk as well. Don't get me wrong, because, yo, the developers love Dark Souls. Let's just be honest. But the combat in this game is more reminiscent of that of Dark Souls than I believe than that of, you know, Elden Ring. Oh boy, we just died. But bitch, I'm back. So, tell me your opinion. Honestly, anyone who is watching this video and such, tell me what your opinion is. Like, if you're a person that is, you know, comparing this to Elden Ring, I would like to know your real reason why you're comparing this to Elden Ring. What mechanics of Elden Ring makes you say, oh, this feels like Elden Ring, but it feels like a worse version of Elden Ring? Because when I start reading and hearing that stuff, it's like, you know how many years they were working on this game called Elden Ring? Does anyone remember how many years it took them to work on this game? Why are we comparing? You know, this is not something, this game didn't take them 11 years to develop. This game doesn't have all the embodiments, I would say, that of, you know, Dark Souls. I mean, of Elden Ring. It has the embodiment and the feel of Dark Souls. And I think maybe, you know, my Dark Soul brethren that's out there might understand what I'm getting at, because Elden Ring is a gorgeous game. Elden Ring, when the first time I played it, I was in complete amazement. When I first played Dark Souls, I was in complete amazement as well. But when I played Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, those games, I knew what I was expecting. I knew what I was getting involved in. I was like, oh boy, time to die. Time to rage, time to get upset, but it's time to die. Elden Ring, when I first played it, I didn't feel, you know, overall like, oh, time to fucking die or anything. I felt like, holy crap, this is beautiful. The landscape, the way you approach the game, it's completely open world. It's completely a different way. This is not an open world per se as Elden Ring. This is an open world scenario like that of Dark Souls. You got your hub, everything links to your hub. Elden Ring, nothing linked to a single hub point. You didn't have a hub point like this is your main rest area. You had your Firelink shrines and everything in Dark Souls. You know, you had your main hub where your maiden was pretty much at all times. and shortcuts and everything. Like in this game, I'm gonna put it like this. Okay, let's stop for a second here, and I'm just gonna put it like this. In this game, there is shortcuts that comes right back to the Skyrest Bridge. Okay, which is just like that of Dark Souls.
But you won't.
And I don't know. I really don't think it's fair to compare this game to Elden Ring. I really don't. And, you know, if you disagree with me, that's your opinion. I just wanted to, you know, express mine for a little bit. So, otherwise than that, thank you guys. I want to say so much, and I will probably be making another video about this later. But thank you guys for 3,800 subscribers. I didn't think that one video of me talking about, you know, farming the Red Reaper, cheesing the crap out of him, would have blown up in the proportions that it did. But that one video blew up so well. We got new subscribers. I myself has, you know, started my rebranding on my channel to this game, but it also in reality to more Souls games, because I'm retired. I love Guilty Gear and all that, but I'm retired. I want to go ahead and play something that I know I enjoy. And so far, Lords of the Fallen has not disappointed. Lies of P has not disappointed me at all. Both games so far in this year, 2023 alone, has actually really surprised me. I did not think that we were going to be ended up having this much fun with these games. Oh crap. I was not dying to end the video. No. All right, guys. Well, you know, in all fairness, and all ease, and everything else, you guys have a good one. You take it easy. Leave me a comment below. Seriously. Tell me if you think the way I think, that this game should not be compared to Elden Ring, that it should be compared to Dark Souls, or if you feel like this game should be compared to Elden Ring, tell me why. But in any regards, I hope you all have a splendid time. Have a good day or evening, wherever you're at. And yeah, we're just gonna push this guy off the edge, and we're gonna call it quits. All right, take it easy, guys, and have a good one.